All right, real quick, I wanted to talk about the Eagles' loss to Denver the other night. Let's get the obvious out the way. Did Kevin Patullo have a great game plan? It was okay. Everybody wants to throw the blame on Kevin Patullo, forgetting the fact that Jalen Hurts had one of the best passing games this year. So if you're going to blame him for the bad, you got to blame him for the good too. Now, in my opinion, while I do not agree with not running the ball, let's get that out of the way first. You got to run Saquon Barkley. He's one of the best running backs in the league. Future Hall of Famer. Give him the ball. I know he caught the touchdown pass, and that's great, but we have to run the ball with our running backs more than 9 times in the game. We must do that. The second part about that is let's come to the realization, and Eagles fans have to come to grips with this reality. We do not, I repeat, we do not have the best offensive line in the league anymore. They're too banged up. They're swapping spots. Jurgens does not look like he's 100%. Landon Dickerson definitely isn't 100%. Mailata's been on the struggle bus a couple times in this short season. Lane Johnson, he's having his issues, but he was solid the other day. Tyler Steen has been solid. So the right side of your offensive line has been pretty good. But collectively, we've had problems. Tight ends are still having trouble blocking. And when we get to the real crux of why we lost that game, penalties killed us. Now, if you check out my background, these are the notes from the game from the NFL.com. So all of these are official notes. And I just highlighted a few things, right? Going into the third quarter, highlighted all the big plays, right? Pluses and minuses. So early in the third quarter, we get the 47-yard touchdown to Saquon. Huge play, great play call, mismatch. You get Alex Singleton on Saquon Barkley. We'll win that match 100 times out of 100. So if you're going to give Kevin Patullo the criticism, you got to give him some of the credit on that play. Even if Jalen did adjust some things on the line, it's in the arsenal. It's got to come from somewhere, okay? But let's go down a little bit further and let's look at the real deal of what was going on. We're at 3:43 left in the third. We get a penalty on 1st and 10. False start on A.J. Brown. When does A.J. Brown false start? Well, he did the other day. So now we're looking at 1st and 15, incomplete. 2nd and 15, incomplete. 3rd and 15. So now we're looking at 3rd and long. Jalen Hurts gets sacked. That's not on Kevin Patullo. That's recognition. Players on the field, didn't see the blitz coming. I believe that's the one when the cornerback came from our right side. Nobody picked him up. Execution failure by the players. Let's go down a little bit further. Now we go into the fourth, and we're still up 17-10 at this point. Going into the fourth quarter, we still up by a touchdown, and we got the ball going into the fourth. We run the ball. We get 7 on 1st and 10. Penalty. Brett Toth holding 10 yards. So now we at second. Now we repeat down 1st and 20. That's not Kevin Patullo's fault. Now we at 3rd and 13, right? Jalen Hurts gets sacked. We lose 3 more. That's not Kevin Patullo's fault. Player execution failure. All right, let's go down to the next series. 2nd and 1. We get a pass to Devontae Smith. Penalty. Tyler Steen, ineligible downfield. That's not Kevin Patullo's fault. Then we go down. Now we 2nd and 6, 3rd and 6, 4th and 4. We go for it. Deep pass, 30 yards to Devontae Smith. Great play, great catch. Great splash play by Devontae Smith. Penalty. Barkley. Illegal shift. I went back and looked at the play. It was an illegal shift. Jahan Dotson was moving, and he didn't get set before Saquon started moving. So technically, it's on Jahan Dotson. I know Saquon gets the penalty for moving too soon, but he's in his normal rhythm. If the wide receiver doesn't scoot up to the line of scrimmage late when he's lining up, you know how when the receivers get to the line of scrimmage, they usually look over to the referee or point to the referee to let them know they are on or off. It looks like Jahan Dotson was on the line of scrimmage, but he moved up late. And while he was moving up, Saquon was already moving. So we get the penalty. That's not Kevin Patullo's fault. Drive killer. Killed a splash play. Not Kevin Patullo's fault. Right? Then, then you got the defensive play. We get the stop, and then you get the penalty on Zach Bond. But we're not going to look at the defensive failures. But I will say this, in my opinion, defense played well enough to win that game. Offense had a player execution failure when it came to making the big plays. We had 3 opportunities to extend that lead. If Dallas Goedert doesn't stop on his route, maybe we get that pass and we score at least 3 points. If A.J. Brown doesn't pull up on his route, maybe we score or at least 3 points. If Jahan Dotson gets his foot 2 inches to the right, that's an inbound pass, we score, or at the very least, we get 3 points out of the deal. So that's a potential 9 points that we lose out on because we didn't make the plays and we didn't take advantage of those opportunities when they presented themselves. That's not on Kevin Patullo. Kevin Patullo doesn't throw a pass, miss blocks, drop passes, jump off sides. This was a player execution fumble. You can tell me you don't like Kevin Patullo's game. That is fair. But once those guys on the field run those plays, it was part of the game plan when we scored. It was part of the game plan. So we had opportunities to win that game that didn't have anything with Kevin Patullo's, whether you agree or disagree with his game plan. So stop with that. This was a player execution failure.